Cool. We are rolling. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, cool. You're back. That was kind of weird.
I'm back. Sorry, it was stuck on blue screen. I forgot to change it back to green screen. I saw this was gone.
That makes a little more sense.
Oh, Merry Christmas, ho ho ho! A cup of cheer.
Sure do love that Nutcracker cup, man.
Nothing here.
Oh, wow.
1997, as I mentioned in my little World Book episode.
Beautiful. Uh-oh.
So, 'tis the season.
Uh-oh. Am I losing connection?
No, we're a little bit blurry, but it's working itself out.
Okay.
At least we're here. At least we can hear each other clearly.
Yeah, and if StreamYard does their job on the back end and records everything locally, like they say they're supposed to, like we're paying for, then honestly, the blurry videos and stuff won't matter because it'll just record it on my laptop, you know, my crystal clear version, and that will be the upload. So, hey, if all else works, you know, thank you StreamYard for the best gift this Christmas, clarity.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be a Groucho.
I thought so. You just needed the yeah.
Old reference.
Somebody might know it out there.
All right.
This is the arguably awesome holiday special this Christmas. And today what we have in store for you, A.CARD.
Well, we got quite a bit, Eric. Let me tell you, or I should say Ayrflo. We have a special guest as always. It seems like it's always, but we like to throw him in there every now and then. But one of our favorites, Mr. Max Chester Cheeto Cook.
I'm Max Cook, and I've been asked to come on this show again. Hello to you. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Christmas season, Hanukah, Kwanza, no holidays at all, whatever you're doing. I hope you're out there having a blast, jingle, jangle, drinking chocolate and rolling in the hay.
He'll be popping in every now and then with some, yes, he's going to be popping in with some helpful, not helpful, but some interesting information and quite a story he had to tell from childhood. It was, woo!
It was
great. It's a true story.
I was I mean, he's always talked about being a latchkey kid, but like him actually diving deeper into that and what it meant for him being a latchkey kid around the holidays definitely was an eye-opening experience.
Yeah, bedwetter. I'm just kidding. He never mentioned that.
No.
Maybe. We never know. We all did it.
But yep, very short interview. Just gonna be sprinkling some bits here and there in between me and A.CARD talking about, you know, Christmas, the true spirit of it, what it means to us, and you know, trying not to get swept up in all the capitalistic bull.
I know, right? We're losing the meaning of Christmas. I mean, but it means different things to different people, different cultures, if you celebrate or not. Like in Japan, they do it because they love the merriment, the happiness, the cheer. It's really a couple's holiday over there for them.
I do love the
Like
way that they
Valentine's
turn it into a whole like week-long celebration thing, like Golden Week or something. It's like, and they have all these beautiful traditions, like sitting underneath the what is it, the futomatsu, the heated blanket at the table. Is that what that is? Something like that.
Yes.
And like
that's great.
I wish I had one of those.
When I was in Sumago, I can't even speak. We would sleep on the floor because we went there around wintertime. It wasn't Christmas, but it felt like Christmas. We went in the ryokan, like a traditional Japanese house, for like 3 days. They would heat. I would assume there's rice inside these pillow-looking things, but it's just rice inside of it. They heat it up, and man, it would stay warm for hours. And they put it at the foot of your bed.
That sounds awesome.
Cozy.
That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it.
Yeah, that's how you do it in Japan. I mean, you gotta, what was that saying? Do as the Romans do?
There you go, when in Rome.
Or something like that. You just follow the culture, do as they do, and you'll learn.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, my fire froze.
Yeah, wasn't that supposed to be like a gift or something?
Merry Christmas. No, it's just it was hard to find a good wallpaper actually that was cozy. I don't know where you found yours, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Did you
man,
just
the
say
whole
Santa's workshop interior?
that's basically, yeah, I was like, I want Santa's workshop, and then boom, it's got the horses, and it looks like back where the elves would be. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty cool.
Looks like somewhere in Bavaria. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that like Eastern European.
I almost thought that was a water heater, but I figured out that that's your microphone.
Oh.
I thought it was a blue water
I'm
heater.
talking into the
Like, what's a
microphone.
blue water heater?
Hey, you know.
So, should we start with some history of Christmas?
Yeah, you know, Mr. Teacher Man, I think it's time for an educational moment. So please, why don't you go ahead and hit people to how Christmas originated?
Well, let's see. What do we got? Oh, well, Chrome tabs. Let's see. So I have like short ones, like one like the real origin and legend of Santa Claus, and then we have one of Krampus, Flying Reindeer, and Frosty the Snowman. Basically, I can get Frosty the Snowman off the list real quick, because it's a short one. We all know Frosty the Snowman, right? We got a picture. Oh man, yeah. Wikipedia's hurting right now, getting those donations in.
Oh yeah, I know, dude.
Maybe cut that part out.
Hey, no, it's okay. Hey, you know, they're like, hey, this season, you know, give the gift I'm giving.
So Frosty the Snowman is a popular Christmas song written by Walter Jack Rollins and Steve Nelson, first recorded by Gene Autry. Now, if you know Gene Autry,
One of my favorites.
famous country singer from, yeah, right? Christmas guy all around. It's surrounding a man who's built from snow with a magic silk hat. Was it a silk hat?
Something like that, like a silk top
He had
hat.
some kind of a magical hat. And then it brings him to life. And then he goes on all these misadventures with children because he's a snowman who's a bit clumsy. But he becomes close with them. And by the end of winter, the sun is coming out. I would assume it took over more than one day, but it could have been in a day, actually. Yeah, it wasn't a day. I got to remember the lyrics. And then he melts, and then he has to say goodbye. And it was kind of sad. But if you've seen the Rankin Bass, you know, Max corrected me on the I thought it was bass, but it's bass. The famous claymation Christmas. Let's see, number one. It for me, I'm sure this is the same for Max, but you didn't mention it. But Rankin Bass.
Oh yes, Rankin Bass, or is it bass?
Rankin Bass, whatever.
All those specials
That they'd show in the 70s and 80s. There was different movies that came out, but most of those were cartoons. There was one where it was a stop motion called Christmas in July, where you had Mr. Ice versus Mr. Sun or something. It was a famous song. He's Mr. Icicle. He's, you know. I heard a great trap remix of that song, by the way. Was it trap or was it dubstep? Probably dubstep. Yeah. So that's Frosty. Now we have Flying Reindeer. We'll make Santa last because he's special. So do you know anything about Flying Reindeer? Ayrflo?
Oh, easily. You know, there's the whole legend of Rudolph, which, you know, everybody should know at this point. And if you don't, that's just sad. And don't forget about Olive, the other reindeer.
Is that really a real movie?
Yes, it's this dog who mishears the lyric as Olive, the other reindeer, and so she goes on this huge journey to try and meet Santa at the North.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. It's a I saw it on Cartoon Network years ago. Oh, no. Anyways, about Flying Reindeer. It
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like she's like a little
Wow.
I don't want to say she's a wiener dog, but she's like just like a tiny little dog. And thinks that basically the story of Rudolph is like her legacy, basically, because she's the other reindeer. Oh man, it's a wild. I don't know.
It's not baby's day out; it's dog's day out.
Oh wow, there you go.
Well, apparently, Flying Reindeer. I was never thought about it until this year. Like, where did that come from? Because all these things eventually immaculated into one legend.
Say that word one more time.
Like this Flying Reindeer. Immaculate.
Yeah. Okay.
Amalgamation.
Okay.
Amalgamation.
Go,
that's what I meant. An amalgamation.
I was like, say that one more time.
Don't test me, people. Don't even have me on a game show, please. I'd lose on Jeopardy. Yeah, they may have evolved from the ancient Norse Norway legend of Thor, where he had a flying. We all know Thor. We don't need to explain it. He had a chariot of flying magical goats. That was in one of the movies, right? The flying goats was like in
Thor: Love and
the
Thunder,
second, the third Thor movie.
because there was
Well,
Ragnarok.
it was the new one, right? Thor: Love and
I'm pretty
Thunder.
sure it was in Love and Thunder. I can't quite recall the
Yeah,
scene.
but then they changed it into flying deer for Santa. So Santa, um, based off of an actual saint.
Oh, so he hijacked some Norse mythology, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, it's all European related apparently.
Here, you entertain. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So Santa Claus was known as Saint Nick. He was a Catholic, I think from Spain. I'm not sure if it mentions it in here. So he was a man from Spain or somewhere. I thought it was Germany, but I think it was Spain. He was a saint who would bring toys for poor kids, and he he would just help out the community, as you could see. Wow, that's a big stick. So yes, if you're religious, Christmas means more than just gifts, trees, and lights to you. As myself, although I don't practice as much as I should as a Christian. But I love the whole merriment of it being so happy, poppy with colors, lights, sparkling things, trees, presents, family, food, cheer, and eggnog. But yes, back to Santa. Sinterklaas became more prevalent in the United States. In the 19th century, this lithographic book plate from a Christmas book shows Santa Claus by the chimney and was published in New York City. So he started coming down the chimney later on, but, if you're in Japan, they believe he comes through the window or the door. Yeah, there's Santa Claus. Now in Germany, if you wanna read more, go to the History Channel, it'll tell you a whole bunch. We're not gonna get too deep into it, copyright issues. But now Krampus is a European popular legend, half goat, half demon, and I love that 2016 film Krampus. Live, realistic, animation, real, dang it, not a whole bunch of CGI. Mostly, practical effects, that's what I'm trying to say. Great movie. Not following the legend, but to an extent, still a great movie. Yeah, Krampus is believed to have originated in Germany, and his name derives from the German word Krampen, which means claw, and he looks so devilish. If you've seen a lot of these horror movies, paranormal movies in the last 12 years, you'll know what I'm talking about. You see these horn demons with fur and shit. Krampus was thought to have been part of pagan rituals for the winter solstice. According to legend, he is the son of Hel, the Norse god of the underworld. But he also follows Santa Claus only a few feet from behind when he's walking through the villages. While Santa gifts and says hello to the good children, he is following behind, scaring the naughty children. Is that scary? And there's some pictures of him grabbing the kids and shoving them in a bag. Isn't that nightmare fuel? Whoa, there's that. But I highly recommend the Krampus horror movie is definitely a Christmas movie. Come on, you can't not watch it. It's like Silent Night, Deadly Night, as Max said. Yeah. I mean, that's all I got for picture fun. I mean, we all sat on Santa's lap to get a picture in the mall, right? My place where I did that was Mall 205 or Clackamas Town Center here in Portland back in the 90s. Uh, yeah.
Nice, dude.
Other than that, um, I thought I was sharing my screen, but apparently I was only sharing one screen. But there wasn't much pictures.
That's so funny. You're like, oh, that didn't really work how I thought it was.
But yeah, that's some history, Christmas history.
Beautiful.
Oh, and the first snow apparently was recorded on Christmas in the late 1800s and then again in 1930 something. And it hasn't really snowed a good full on snow since then.
Really?
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
What are some of your favorite Christmas movies?
Well, I did mention that earlier, but to reiterate, I would say A Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I'm gonna say the collection of Rankin Bass stop motion claymation films. Scrooged with Bill Murray
Mm.
and Tim Allen in The Santa Claus. That it's just a Christmas. I have to watch it every year. Jingle All the Way is a good one too, but
It's not quite as timeless.
there's so many. I try to just name five.
That's pretty good, actually. I like that. I too would like to add the Rankin Bass. Nothing how you make me do it. The Rankin Bass stop animation
Right?
ones.
Bass. That's how you spell it. Bass. Bass.
Slapping the bass. No, so definitely those ones. I mean, they smack of holiday Christmas like classicness. And then one of my top favorites would have to be the Charlie Brown Christmas special. I love Peanuts.
Oh, okay.
Super classic. I usually made a point to watch it every year. And then Apple went and made it so that you had to have like a Apple TV subscription or whatever to watch it. And I don't know. I just haven't seen it in a few years now, and I'm all butthurt. And then I think the movie The Wiz takes place on Christmas. Oh, my seats. Ugh. My freaking chair fell down. Sorry, yo. Anyways, so I'm pretty sure The Wiz takes place on Christmas. It's like some sort of holiday, whether it's Christmas or Thanksgiving. But it's, classic Broadway musical, little black girl named Dorothy from, I want to say it was the Bronx and her dog Dodo.
Yeah.
Getting swept up in this crazy magical adventure. You got Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. You've got Nipsey Russell. You've got all these fantastic actors and actresses coming together with a soundtrack that's fueled by Quincy Jones's brilliance and his disco infused like piano moments. Like, I mean, seriously, there's some great stuff. Richard Pryor's in it. It's just what you would hope for it to
I
be.
forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yep.
That's the late 70s, right?
Yes.
That was at a time when blaxploitation. That is a blaxploitation film.
I mean, you could probably.
I mean, you couldn't say it isn't.
You could probably argue that it is.
And it's one of the great ones too. I mean, there was Blackula. If you want to watch
I
Frankenstein,
definitely
there was
would
Black
not.
Frankenstein. I just found out about that.
I wouldn't compare The Wiz to like Blackula though, or like Black Frankenstein.
As far as blaxploitation films, it was like, I don't know how to word this, but it was like empowerment to do their own.
Oh, definitely,
versions
for sure. For sure, it was definitely.
I loved it growing up. Actually, that actually is one of my favorite versions of The Wizard of Oz. I'd watch it. I never saw the beginning for the longest time because I never knew how she got to what they call Oz.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day in the late '90s, I'm like, "Oh my god, I caught it!" And I saw this animated tornado coming down the road. I'm like, "Oh, that's how she gets swept away."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, interesting, because I only had it on VHS. I remember I had it on VHS, and my dad always forget to record the beginning. But great film,
man.
And the music. I forgot the music, but I know the Wiz.
There's the part when they get to the.
I also
Emerald
remember
City.
the Witch's song.
Oh, don't nobody bring me no bad news. Now, if you're talking to me, you better bring me something good, because don't know. I love that song, man. I'm telling you, it's got some that movie has some merits. Like, it's got some good imagery.
I added that to my Amazon wish list. I got to buy it on DVD.
Hell yeah, man. Well, hopefully you put Jim Carrey's The Grinch on there as well, because that's gonna be in my top 5 Christmas movies as well.
I just used my Target gift card from work to buy The Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas from Jim Carrey, Christmas Story, and something else. Another one. I forgot what it was.
Oh, the original Christmas Story is definitely on there for me. I feel like I kind of disappointed Max having not seen it, the sequel yet. But, hey.
You got to have HBO, apparently. I mean, I streamed it other means.
Well, I got HBO.
I can share it with you.
I got HBO. I should have just shared it with you. Damn.
Oh, well, then never mind. I won't share it with you.
My bad.
Watch it on your HBO.
Sorry. Well, I mean, somebody's HBO. Anyways.
What's your top 5 Christmas films?
Who? You asking me?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Magoo's version of A Christmas Carol.
Oh, yes.
It's animated,
Yeah.
I believe. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
These aren't in order, by the way, but that's definitely number one. Let's see what else. I do like Scrooge movies. I played Scrooge when I was a kid. I also played a constable, and Kirk Cameron played Scrooge in a play.
With you?
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
we went to school
wow.
together, Kirk and I.
Nice.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
You could have totally used that.
could I have?
Well,
Well, you know, he's gone
Well-
a different direction in life than most of
Yeah.
us, but good for him. So yeah, so I think it's the Alastair Sim version.
Okay.
I like A Wonderful Life because it's really about darkness and suicide. I can identify with that. Not that I, want to kill myself, but in the past I've come close.
That's
Oh, geez.
respectable. Relatable. It's relatable.
And A Christmas Story. And by the way, I saw A Christmas Story Christmas, the 40 years later sequel to A Christmas Story. Have you fellas
I
seen
just did on Thursday when I was sick.
No, but
How'd it
please
hit
feel
you?
free to talk about it.
I was debating on it, but then I saw Peter Billingsley I think he had his hand in writing and directing it, and I didn't even know he did Couples Retreat. I kind of like that movie.
Couples Retreat is
Oh,
a
yeah.
banger.
It's like 10 years ago now. He looks a lot different now than he did 10 years ago. But I think it was for the
It's
film.
weird,
But
right?
so he's supposed to be 40 something. I mean, I guess he looks the age. He looks appropriate for being a dad. I thought at first it was a little bit weird, but then I saw how he was trying to be true to the original, and it was using his as a narrator. And then the kids I thought were I don't know, kid actors nowadays kind of hit or miss. But altogether, I thought
Right.
it was great. I wish what was her name? Melinda Dillon, the one who retired.
Julie Haggerty assumed the role.
Yes, and I hadn't seen her since I saw that Albert Brooks movie or What About Bob? But,
Yeah.
she did a great job. I thought, basically, long story short, I thought it was pretty good. You saw all these characters that you hadn't seen in years. They played true to their parts. They didn't Hollywood it up. They did a little bit of nods every now and then, but they didn't overdo it with nostalgia.
Yes.
In the end, I was like, you know what? I like the movie.
Yes, I had a very unusual reaction myself because I never knew my dad, right? So I always loved the old man because my dad died before I
Yep.
was born, right?
Mhm.
The old man character in A Christmas Story was like, that's going to be my dad every Christmas just by watching the
Oh,
movie
yeah. That's a true dad.
so much. Oh, you should see what it looks like from out here. I love Darren McGavin. I love Melinda Dillon. That first film is so priceless and precious. Obviously, there's reasons why it caught the popular imagination. Now, 40 years later, we have this sequel. I was so hesitant. I had no expectations. And I went in there and I thought, wow, they're really capturing the Gene Shepherd spirit,
Mhm.
the original author and narrator of the first film. I thought Julie Haggerty was stupendous. I would go so far as to say Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress. She was so great
Yeah.
Oh wow.
as Mom. She was so quirky and funny and cute, and I haven't seen her in so long. The story was weird. I mean, it was so weird seeing Ralphie and Flick
Yeah.
and Schwartz and Farkas as 40-year-old drunks.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that angle. And it really was cool to see Ralphie on his journey. Like he's writing all this stuff that no one wants. You gotta write what you know. I've been saying it all along. If any stupid young actor comes up to me and says, "What do I do? What do I do?" Play yourself.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
must have hit when you heard that in the film.
Yeah.
Respect that.
So I enjoyed it very much. It was weird though. You're right. It's tonally off in a way, but oddly charming.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a few watchings of something that you think is weird or a few years, and then you're like, "Hey, I'm comfortable with it now."
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for me as far as actual Christmas movies. I'm sure there's
Mhm.
some that take place on Christmas that aren't really Christmas movies that I could throw on that list as well, but those are the core 5.
There's a lot. You said Jingle All the Way was one of your favorite ones too. Sinbad at his
How could you
prime.
not? Sinbad was killing that. You remember he's in the he's in the radio station and he's surrounded by the cops and he's like, "Stop! It's a bomb! I got you don't y'all move an inch until I get out of this
Blow
building.
this place up.
I got the ears of a snake." I was like,
And it turned out it really was a bomb.
Mhm.
And he was like, oh, he didn't know he was actually messing with a real bomb.
The police thought he was faking it, and they ripped
Put
it
the
right
cookie
open.
down.
That's so great.
No.
Rest in peace, Phil
That is
Hartman.
a classic.
Mm.
As I mentioned, that intro to that movie, epic. It's a great way to start the movie actually with the actual Action Toys TV
Yeah,
show.
because you got to
It
build
looks
it
like
up.
it, and then they actually made a Turbo Man. I think that same year, and you can find it on the internet. And they have like a vehicle he rides in. It's great.
They made a.
Don't get the Hispanic version, the bilingual version. Make sure you got the English speaking one.
Oh, that's real. Oh wow.
No, remember in the movie, the Jim Belushi's like the Santa Claus, like, yeah, we got a undercover operation over here.
Do you know who plays?
This isn't English.
Do you know who plays the big Santa that he ends up going up against when he's like, "I'm gonna deck your halls, bub."
Yeah, it's the guy from WWE, right?
You,
I didn't know
you
that.
can
And I was
do
like,
it.
this guy looks like he's somebody.
Which one is
And
it?
I looked it up last year, this year.
It's the Big Show.
Big Show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was guessing the name there. I didn't know
No.
because he's big.
Yeah.
It's quite a show.
He's the only one I think at the
Wow.
time who really had that big a physique. I mean, he was so tall. Other guys are big, but he is
Since
tall.
the passing of Andre, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he Andre's kid?
I can't
Andre the
remember.
Giant?
I can't remember what his relation was. I kept thinking there that I heard something like that.
Yeah, we'll have to do some research on that. I know I read somewhere his son's in wrestling, but anyway, yeah. What about songs, Christmas songs? Do you have a top 4?
I love so this is Christmas. You know, you got John Lennon, a little Yoko Ono. That was okay. But then I know, right? I love that song, like the actual song, like what they call it, the Christmas song. I want to say it's Chestnuts Roasting on Open Fire.
Christmas. Ah, yes, chestnuts roasting. Oh,
Oh,
I was roasting mine.
what do you call nuts on your chest?
Oh, God.
Chestnuts. Yeah. So, another song that I really rather enjoy around Christmas time is that one song. This Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. But I can't hear the Chris Brown version anymore, man. I'd rather hear the I want to say it's Donny Holiday or
The
Holloway.
original.
Yeah, I'd rather hear the original.
Yeah. I always try to get the original and the best re-recorded one. At least 2 different versions if it's worth downloading. Like Mariah Carey. Oh, Mariah Carey did Christmas Come Home by Darlene Love, which the original is, even though I don't think it's in stereo, it might be. I have it. It just sounds more banging. And I was like, oh man, gotta love Darlene. I mean, her last name's Love. How could you not? And of course, All I Want for Christmas, a Mariah Carey, a staple in Christmas music, #1 every year almost. It was it went triple platinum or something last year, the year before. She is Christmas, so she had a rough upbringing, you know. She tries to make Christmas as special as possible since she didn't really get to have one as a kid. Check out her book. Nope. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Ayrflo had to pop off for a second on his sleigh to see some family. So, while that being said, I will continue, and he will mingle about in between. So, we just talked about some Christmas songs, and I will continue that list. So I mentioned Baby Please Come Home by Darlene Love, #1. It's banging, and people who've done covers like that, hit and miss. I do like Mariah's, and there is one called by Slow Club, which is also a good cover of Baby Please Come Home. All I Want for Christmas, I said Mariah Carey. Holly Jolly Christmas with Mr. Festive Burl Ives. He played the snowman in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And he sang a song. He's a great, kind old man who left us too soon back in the mid 90s. Home for the Holidays, Perry Como, Ayrflo and I love that song. There's no place like home for the holidays. If you've seen Ayrflo and I arguably awesome Christmas card online on our social medias, you'll know the song plays instantly when you check it out. Christmas books. Well, we all know I love World Books Christmas Around the World series, and I own all 36, 35 that they have for now. I don't count the duplicates that have been updated. I like to keep it vintage, keep it where it was. The newest one, Christmas in Wales, just came out, and I got that. And I recommend checking out Christmas Memories in America, 1900 to now. So it's 1900 to 1999 or 2000. But man, you get this little vintage snowman piece and this old school advent calendar, and of course all the books. When you order them, ask them, email them, and they'll send you a whole list of all the catalog they have. Order the book. You can request it to come with the advent calendar, the ornament, and the 6 recipes. It's worth it. You get songs at the end of the book that they sing traditionally in the it all curated to that country that it talks about. Traditions, history, customs, food, songs, everything. It's worth it. My number one for books. And then we have Mr. Christmas himself, Charles Dickens. I mean, do you know who Charles Dickens is? Oh my gosh. Apparently, the green screen. Oh no. Anyway, I got this in Indonesia. It's called A Christmas Carol and Other Holiday Treasures by Charles Dickens. So what do we got? What books do we have in here? You have to read A Christmas Carol or watch the one from 1980. Was it 1983? Great film. Let's see. We've got A Christmas Carol from 1843. Wow. The Chimes, The Cricket on the Hearth, The Battle of Life, The Haunted Man, and The Ghost's Bargain. That's it. Get it. It's a green book, by the way, obviously. We also have Mad Magazine. You gotta get the Mad Magazine. They did their own version of A Christmas Story. Because I think it's because the new one's coming out. It's like 5 pages worth of parodying this movie. And other nonsense. I love reading Sunday Funnies. It's still a thing, yes. But I've had to go digital on the newspaper website. Because they just don't deliver the papers. Like, they're not consistent anymore. So I have to get my funnies every Sunday online, which is fine. And I love it when they do a theme related to the season. It's always hilarious to see that they go nostalgia. I mean, nostalgia's rebooting everywhere, right? It's never the same, though. Maybe a tiny bit, but it's never the memories that count. It's the memories that count. If you guys have any Christmas things that you like to read every year, share below in the comments, because maybe there's more than I didn't know about.
What are your holiday traditions?
That's a good one. Well, let's go with you.
Well, it used to be
Growing
on
up.
Christmas Eve, my wife and I would go to Benihana, and we would sit at one of those tables with the shrimp flying in the air, and we'd have all kinds of beverages, and we'd all be together in a collective steam. And then the plague hit, and the first year in 2020, we thought, let's still get Benihana, but we'll just transfer it from the restaurant. We'll pick it up and just transfer it to our house. That was a terrible idea. Don't transport Benihana more than a half hour away from the restaurant. It's not going to work. That's not the premise of Benihana. So we did that, and then here's the thing. My dad's mom, late dad, dead dad's mom, my grandma, Betty, cooked. Yep. She was Mother Christmas. And every year, she would send me a big box. It was Grandma's Christmas box. It had presents. It had good tidings. It had cards. It had this. It had ho-hos and ding-dongs and all kinds of shit. Well, then she died in, 2001, right? Guess who picked up the slack? Guess who kept the tradition going to this day? My mother, Carol.
Oh,
And
not
my
you.
mom
Okay.
is just as kooky as my grandma Cook was. So the kookiness continues each and every year in a box full of tidings and joy and presents and all kinds of fun crap.
Pretty inspirational.
I just got it yesterday. I opened it up. There's all kinds of instructions. Don't open this. Open this now. Don't feed the dog this. Wait until, because we got to make sure there's no food in the packages.
Would you consider it better than Harry and David?
Yes.
Probably, yeah. More from the heart instead of
Harry
random
and
assortment of crap.
David.
What?
Yes. So
Harry
usually
David.
we just lounge around, like you say, we watch films and stuff. We do the morning present thing. Now I have to videotape. I have to film myself on the camera opening all of Mom's presents because she's in Kansas, so she needs to see all that action.
I want to be there.
It's nice.
That's how
It's
she
nice.
sounds. I want to
Yeah.
be there.
I want to be
New
there.
York.
For some reason, my mom's a
Right.
chicken. So,
Jeez.
yeah, I have a chicken mom. You didn't know that? You didn't know I was half
No,
chicken?
that makes sense. You always said she was
So,
running around.
we just
doing,
chill.
Like, three jobs. That sounds like a chicken.
She is. Yeah.
Always on the go.
And then, there's a few obligatory phone calls you got to make. Like I still have my other grandma. She's still alive. She's been relocated to Kansas. I just saw her over Thanksgiving. That was a trip.
Nice.
And she's very old. But, you got to call grandma on Christmas Day. If your grandma's still alive, you got to call and wish her a Merry Christmas. Do you guys
That's
still
true.
have your
Yep,
grandmas?
still do.
Mine
Do you
passed
have
20
a
years
favorite
ago.
grandma, though?
Are you asking me or?
Do I need to ask it again? Do you have a favorite? I'm asking you both.
I don't have
you
any
have a-
grandmas or grandpas anymore.
Oh, you
Yeah, that's why I
don't?
was like,
I'm-
are you asking me? Because Anthony doesn't have any.
My last grandparent passed away in 2016.
I
at
didn't know
100.
I
that.
thought you heard him say
I'm
it. My
sorry,
bad.
Anthony. What happened?
No,
Did they
there's
all
no right.
expire? They all expired?
They reached their expiration date.
Well, Eric, you clearly have grandparents. So will you let your grandparents be Anthony's
Totally,
grandparents?
dude. You feel free to swing by.
See,
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas. Max makes miracles happen.
Absolutely.
Hallelujah. We need to have that sound bite play at that moment.
Wow. Miracles.
Okay. So some traditions that I remember growing up, I did, like I said, I got this cup in 1997. It had candy in it wrapped in a plastic. Didn't really care for it, but you know what? I actually like this cup. It's a great cup. And passing presents out to family members, decorating the tree was always a big deal and lighting it up every day. We still have a lot of decorations that I grew up with. Some of them are no longer with us because they've fallen apart or something unfortunate. But I keep the tradition, buying a real tree, getting that pine smell, the dog walking awkwardly, slowly around a tree for some reason, like there's something in there, but there's not. It's not like a Christmas Vacation episode where the squirrel jumps out. I remember in 98, no, it was 97, Batman and Robin just come out with Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, and we had Bane as a side character, villain thing, whatever you want to call it. He was very short-lived. Disappointing, though, if you're a Batman fan, right? I never did like those muscles, seeing those muscles get pumped up with juice. It was weird looking. Blech. But I was really obsessed with Batman, and the animated series was still on TV at that time, and I loved Batman, the animated series. I was obsessed with the Joker. The toys were colorful. I took forever to find Harley Quinn. I thought I was going to get that for Christmas, and eventually I found it in the mall. Harley Quinn was a hard find over here in Oregon, okay? Yeah. So I'd kind of poke a little hole in some of the presents, kind of in certain areas my mom wouldn't see. And I'd be like, oh, did I get the Batmobile? I did. I got the Batmobile. And what Batman is it? Oh, I got Robin too. Yeah, it was a whole Batman and Robin Christmas for me. Yeah. And some of the animated series toys. Eventually I moved on to Amazon in the 2000, Amazon and eBay. Amazon had all these Marvel, all the animated series toys from Marvel to DC. It was crazy. That was like your go-to place to shop online. I bought a lot of Spider-Man toys. I have a lot of them still in this drawer hidden away in Star Wars. The Grinch came out in 2000. How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. Oh no, sorry, 99. And I it was like a big thing. Like it seemed like I really wanted the toys for something. I had the talking doll where he's dressed up in the Santa suit, where he, like rubber face, you could move his mouth, the rest is fur, and you press his hand and he talks like this is my relation of a lifetime. And I had the little action figure where he's wearing the lederhosen, you know, Swiss or German traditional clothing, with the hat. And I also had the one where he's wearing the Christmas Santa outfit. I had those two toys with the dog and everything. And I also had the video game. The video game for the PlayStation was the number one thing I wanted. And I played it, and man, was that shit hard. You have to find shit. You know how nowadays games have these kind of prompts to help you out and hints? Back then, they did not. They didn't. Anybody my age will know. 33 and older, you know, they didn't have hints back then, really. Not often. But yeah, the How the Grinch Stole Christmas video game is actually fun. You could throw snowballs at who's and stuff like that. I never did complete the game. I got stuck in the part where you're supposed to build something with the blueprints in your mountain. I couldn't figure that shit out. But yeah, any other memorable Christmas? I know I got Toy Story for Christmas and something else. Nightmare Before Christmas. I just got an assortment of things. But yeah. Those are my memories growing up.
So here's what happened to me as far as Christmas. I want to know what you think of this. So when I was a young boy, I lived on a farm for a couple years and had a farmhouse. It was Christmas Eve into Christmas morning. Christmas morning, 3 a.m. I'm in my bed alone. I'm about 5 years old. My mom and my former stepdad, not my stepdad anymore, they're in the bedroom. Christmas morning, early, 3 p.m. Dark farmhouse, snowing outside. I hear conk-a-conk on the roof. I look out the window to the falling snow, and there's red lights blinking off the falling snow. My first thought is, Rudolph? And then I heard sleigh bells. And then I heard whoop, 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 and I saw a streak go across the sky.
What the?
I think it was the gray aliens posing as Santa. What do you make of that?
What in the man? That's something.
Yeah, I ain't making it up. I'm
What
telling
year
you.
was this?
Huh?
What year was this?
Oh, probably 1975. East Lansing, Michigan farmland.
Oh,
Dark,
yeah, that sounds about
snowy.
right. Jeez.
I mean,
Isn't that when Close Encounters came out? Maybe it was a promo they were doing on your house.
Maybe
trying to get everybody
that's-
hyped for that.
I wondered why that film affected me so hard when I was a child. Because I was probably abducted and, God forbid, probed.
Oh my God.
Now,
Unbelievable.
I think the aliens shouldn't be allowed to probe children, just like we shouldn't be allowed as humans. I think that's very inappropriate. I think that the children should be probed of age. Rather, you have to be 18 and older, and in some states, 21 and older to be probed by gray aliens. Don't you agree?
I want consent from these. I need consent.
Thank you.
They restrain you with their mind powers.
Yeah.
I
I heard
Christmas,
someone-
everybody. Hope you're not getting probed.
Yeah. I heard someone.
It's not going to be coal.
I heard someone say that the aliens have given up on us because they don't want to meet us anymore because we're so horrible. I speak of humanity on this festive holiday episode.
This is a good one. Everybody drag them in here, and then we bring them the truth.
Yeah.
Cold, hard truth.
Yeah, I mean, basically, didn't the Pentagon come out and say there are no UFOs? There's nothing out there. There's nothing. And if there was, they're not interested in us. They've moved on.
That's what was in that
Isn't that sad?
dossier.
They seen the music we're listening to now and the things we're watching.
Yeah.
TikTok, go to the next planet. Where's the next galaxy?
So that's
Do you guys pray? Like, do you pray for a Christmas miracle to do you pray for things to get better? Are you guys religious fellows?
I am, but given my uncle's pancreatic cancer that just came out,
Oh,
kind of hard.
sorry to hear that. Are you close to him?
Yeah, he's the Christmas guy that wears the Christmas plaid pants every year, has the
Oh, so he's a
Christmas around
jolly
the
sort of
world
fellow.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, hopefully this isn't our last Christmas, but given the information, it might be. So, if anybody else is dealing with that stuff out there, you're not alone.
I'm sorry to hear
Yeah,
that, brother.
really. Yeah, very sorry. Yeah, there is a lot of loss this year, it seems. I mean, every year's, with the plague and everything else, there's been a lot of loss and a lot of fear and a lot of dread and despair. But hopefully, there'll be some light next year. I'm feeling like maybe things can turn around, but I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a dumb voice actor.
That's why there's people like you that try to brighten up everybody's day, and people
Yes,
like us that try to make a difference a little bit.
That's right.
that's
That's right.
me.
All you can do is just try to like spread a little bit of joy the best way you can.
I always look forward to my sister because my sister lives in Seattle, so she'd come down and spend a week with us at Christmas time. And I always look forward to her coming for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And she'd come every now and then between then, but mostly because she worked. She had her own life, and that's where she lived. So it was always a big deal. And they'd always try to make it a surprise, like, "Oh, she's coming down." Must have foods for Christmas. Well, just like Thanksgiving, you have to have the trimmings. You have to have everything, just like Thanksgiving. For Thanksgiving, we have turkey. For Christmas, we usually have ham, smoked honey ham. And man, it is scrum-diddly umptious. It's a jubilation of a lifetime. Oh, yes. Yeah, that and eggnog. I didn't really like eggnog until I got in my late teens or early 20s. I actually gave it a try. Sprinkle some cinnamon in there and whatnot. If you make homemade eggnog, holy shit, is that good. That's good. Tell Santa to bring a bag of that. And you can even spike it if you want, but I like it not spiked with any alcohol. Although if you have a recipe, hit it my way. I'll try it. Let's see. Foods, but that was a drink. Foods, we'll continue with drinks. Hot chocolate, it's a must. Swiss Miss or dark chocolate. There's a place called Roast in Portland where they make pure chocolate, sipping chocolate, so it's real strong, thick, and man, does it taste like festivities in your mouth. That's what I think it tastes like whenever I see Tim Allen in the Santa Claus given that chalice, that amazing looking steel cup or whatever it's made of with hot chocolate when he gets to the Santa's workshop the first time. That little girl's like, "Oh, here's some hot cocoa." And it's like, "Oh, you could just you could imagine how amazing and magical it tastes." That's what it tastes like, probably. Try some real chocolate turned into a drink. You cannot be disappointed. Um, Food. I love those pink, green, and white minted cookies, little mini mint cookies with like these little white round sprinkles on top. That's Christmassy. Thin mints in general. Uh, Peanut butter squares, peppermint bark. Oh, if you're from Australia or New Zealand, you know lamingtons. My grandmother was from New Zealand. Ever since I was a boy until her passing 20 years ago in 2002 on January 1st, rest in peace, Grandma, I am going to continue trying this recipe of lamingtons. She would make them yellow, green, blue, and red, sprinkled with coconut, and it has this jam around the square. And it's like a sponge cake, and oh, it's cold and soft and so flavorful. Lamingtons are from heaven. And anytime Christmas came around, I'd think of my grandmother. And oh, I can't wait to try her lamingtons. And eventually, before her passing, she just kind of stopped making them for a few years before then. I would say she's didn't make them when 2000 hit. And I'm going to take on that mantle this year in 2022. And I pray that my grandmother, Stella Ward, will be by my side in spirit as I try to continue this. That is Christmas in my mouth. And my wife introduced me to something special from Texas, Collins Street Bakery, famous for their world famous fruitcakes. I went blank right there because I'm thinking, I can't talk. I'm thinking about it. I did never loved fruitcake. So usually I saw the fruitcake in the stores that's like a pound cake or some cake mix. And I'm like, this fruitcake? No. Collins Street Bakery. It's got to be thick, heavy, non-breaded. That is a fruitcake with the little fruits, dried fruits, sugared fruits on top with the pecans and oh my God, cut slice, put some butter on it, heat it up. Oh my God. Perfecto. It is delicious. Now that is Christmas food to me. And I just tried chestnuts for the first time. Not bad roasted. Pretty good. Does anybody actually roast chestnuts? Or is that just a thing we hear in a song now? Myth as old as time. So before we close, I would like to share a velvet card, a Christmas card. It says, "It's Christmas time at the Wards." That was my grandfather's last name, Kenneth Ward. He served in World War II. Died at 100 in 2016. Rest in peace, grandfather. He sent this to my family back in it was like the late 90s, mid 90s. Let's read what it says. And I hope you guys can hold this near and dear to your heart, because this is what I read every Christmas Eve to my family, starting a while back. We hung the holly on our door for everyone to see. We've written notes to Santa Claus and trimmed our Christmas tree. There's only one thing left to do before the day arrives, to send a wish from Gresham to those who've touched our lives. May Christmas bring you joy and peace. May good times come your way. Your friends in Oregon wish you a happy holiday. Ken and Stella Ward. Well, stay safe, have fun, and keep those near and dear to your heart, and try to live every day like it is Christmas. Because it seems like we live that Christmas spirit for 1 month, and then after that, we go back to our daily, average lives, and just have that attitude that was there before Christmas and returned after Christmas. So if you could live every day like it's Christmas, how much would your life change? How many times a day would you be positive? Try to live it that way. I know it's hard. It's really hard because it's not Christmas every day. But it's not hard or too difficult to treat it like it is. Meaning, don't keep your stuff up 24/7 until forever. That means keep the spirit of happiness and joy and looking forward to something, touching somebody's life, being nice to that family member, seeing somebody you haven't seen, you only see once a year like family. See them more, because you never know when they're going to go. Or you. So cherish this life, because if you think hard and you really observe and analyze life, you'll realize these things we see every day, trees, birds, the sky, the earth, the universe, how small we are and how weird it all is. Like this thing, it's electronic. It's projecting my voice. This card, this thing. Yeah, I analyze life very closely sometimes. It makes my head hurt. But in general, have a happy holiday. Have a great new year. And most of all, have a Merry Christmas. Stay positive 24/7. From Arguably Awesome to your ears, or to wherever you're listening or watching us.